is now on a break in the moment in the Johnny Depp defamation trial. The testimony should resume shortly, and certainly we will take you back live inside that courtroom as soon as it does resume. We're also on verdict watch in two different cases. First, the attempted murder trial of former Olympian Michael Barazone. Deliberations are also underway in the murder for mercy trial of former Dr. William Husel. We will go to those courtrooms live when there's a verdict. Now, in the meantime, still with us, attorney Dr. Tracy A. Pearson. And I'd like to ask you this. What has stood out to you, if anything, in the questioning of these witnesses, Tracy?
You know, I with particular to these witnesses, there was a lot of emotion when Johnny Depp's friend testified, and very insistent that he had never seen Johnny act violently, and I thought that was particularly a standout moment. I also, while this is a deposition that we're watching, I would have brought these folks live. I know, folks are in California and they've brought this lawsuit in Virginia, which is another whole issue. But you want to slide to the background as a lawyer, and you want the witnesses to tell the story. And I don't think this is helping the jury at all. I think that I'm finding this to be very monotonous and almost mind-numbing to listen to this deposition.
And let's talk about that some, because I have to tell you, I wrote this whole email, a whole page of trial advocacy skills and some of the takeaways from this trial that really, if I were the judge on the bench, I would have a hard time, because when I was on the bench, believed attorneys had to be prepared not only in terms of the law and knowing the facts, but how to try a case. And listening to this, Tracy, have you noticed any of the basic, to your point, under direct examination, you ask the open-ended questions so that your witness tells the story, and you want them to tell a story so that it is engaging for the jury, that it tells the jury every step and every piece that's relevant to the case, that's important to know, but in an engaging way. There have been so many objections for leading questions, speculation, for both sides, a lot of objections as to speculation. The questions, it is easy, I think, to prepare for a trial and prepare the questions in a way that does make the witness the center of the focus for the jury to hear what's happening and believe the story.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, the easiest thing to do is to prepare for a direct examination, because you know what you're going to ask your witness. You prepare that ahead of time. You write those questions out. You prepare for those objections. You write down. I used to make notes next to where I thought there might be an objection to have a response and which rule. I was uber prepared. That is very easy to do. And, it's frustrating when there's lots of objections. Sometimes you do it to interrupt the flow. Sometimes, you do it because there's a legitimate issue. Sometimes you do it because you need to do something to establish that you're earning your fee. And I hate to say it that way, but there's truth to that. As a private lawyer who practiced in private practice, representing individual clients, you need to show that you're doing your job, and clients don't sometimes understand how this process works, and that that there are going to be lulls in the trial where they're going to be making points, and you just have to let those points be made.
Right, absolutely. Let's listen together, because to your point, the exciting testimony of the day of the trial so far has been from longtime friend of Johnny Depp, Isaac Baruch. Let's listen to a little bit of that testimony.
Would you say you're kind of beholden to Mr. Depp?
No, not beholden at all.
He's given you $100,000. He's put you in that nice...
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the whole question. Can you say it again? You
were rent-free in penthouses for a number of years, and now you've been rent-free ever since in Sweetser?
That's a nice friend.
Yeah, okay. And I think you testified already, you're pretty angry with Ms. Heard, right?
When?
I wrote it down that you
about the phony pictures that were taken and put in tabloids, and about the fake narrative, and about and the way she's trying to got a fraudulent DV claim to extort and blackmail a man. Yeah, that kind of got me
Pretty angry with it.
frustrated, confused, angry, upset. Yes, which is why I said the best thing for us to do is not to talk to each other.
Okay. And,
Yes.
And was it fair to say you're still angry with her?
Oh, you know something? It's 6 years.
But
It's
we just heard you
6
give your
years.
version.
Am I angry anymore? I'm not, what I am is tired, and I want this all to end. Her to go heal, him to go heal. So many people have been affected by this malicious lie that she started and she created, and it's gone out the door and around the world. And so I can't even paint anymore. I've stopped painting for the last who knows how many years, and that's affected by stuff. I'm not angry at anybody. I want the best for her to take her responsibility, heal, and move on. And for John, his family has been completely wrecked by all of this stuff, and it's not fair. It's not right what she did and what happened for so many people to get affected from this. It's insane.
And Mr. Baruch?
How this happened.
Tracy, that was an answer to a cross-examination question. So we know, trial skill-wise, you should on cross ask one fact per question, and it needs to be a leading question. So you get your one piece out of the witness. You don't want to give them an opportunity to provide a long narrative. What did you think of the cross-examination in terms of whether or not it was effective for Amber Heard?
It was certainly not effective for Amber Heard. We're dealing with Hollywood. Hollywood has come to Fairfax, and these folks that are going to be testifying are characters, and many of them are actors and creative types. And I was struck by the lawyer's inability to control this witness, and for him to have presented it was a beautiful monologue that belonged in a movie. I absolutely don't doubt that it was credible and in the sense that was his true feelings. But boy, these lawyers have got to get on it, and they have got to control witnesses and organize their questioning to do that.
And control witnesses is exactly the reason why there's a specific format for questions that you ask on cross-examination. So I love having this discussion with you. Tell me this in the last 10 seconds. Who do you think is doing better, so to speak, so far in this case in terms of the evidence presented?
Johnny Depp, clearly.
All right. We're going to have more on that trial. Thank you. You're going to stay with us. But up next, after the break, a live report from outside the courthouse in Fairfax, Virginia. Our own Chanley Painter has been there covering this case live while court's on a break. She will be able to be with us. You're not going to miss anything. Stay here with us on Court TV, your front row seat to justice.